Welcome to Sierra Nova Comic Podcast, episode 23. Today we have Tyler Carpenter with us. How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty sleepy. So, give us a quick introduction to what you do.
Yeah, what's up? My name's Tyler, and I host the show Draw and Talk on YouTube, youtube.com/Draw and Talk. My hair is very poofy today because my wife wanted to give it some volume. I'm a writer and artist, and I make comics, and I make art, and I make videos, and I enjoy doing all of that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw on Twitter that you're making another YouTube channel at some point.
Yeah, I've already made it. Yeah, I just need to make the videos now. So yeah, I've already made it.
That explains the hair then, because that's the key. If you want to make it big on YouTube, you got to have the hair.
Exactly. I told my wife, hey, if it needs be, I might need to get some like blonde streaks in my hair. Like I need to do what's necessary to put food on this table.
Maybe you get like giant lamb chops. I think.
Yeah. If anything, I think I need to shave my face and like get a 6-pack, and that's what I need to do for YouTube and like learn how to dance.
That's for TikTok.
Yeah, that's for TikTok. Exactly.
Or be really bad at dancing. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get big on TikTok and then move that audience to YouTube.
What got you into comics?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I was reading manga. My friend introduced me to manga at 5th grade, and I was always into drawing, but he showed me some manga, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then my mom was like, you were not allowed to read any of this. It wasn't even bad. It was like Yu-Gi-Oh. She just didn't like that it was taking me away from reading like normal books. So that stopped, and then 6th and 7th grade, I started buying some manga. I bought like 5 volumes of Shaman King, and my mom was like, "This is not happening." So like she totally cut me off, and then I moved to England. This is such a long story, but it has a point. I moved to England and decided I needed to get popular. So I decided, okay, I'm going to become a rock star. My friends started a band, and I pushed all the nerdy things I did aside. No one knew I did those things. And then went back to high school, still just, pushing aside all the nerdy things, even though I knew everything that was going on in the nerd world. And then 19 years old, I picked up my very first comic book because I saw it on an ad on some pirating website I was on, trying to get music.
Wow.
Totally legit.
Yeah. So my very first comic I ever held and read was Batman issue. It was either 16 or 17 by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. It was part of the new 52 series in 2015. No.
Oh, wow.
No, sorry, 2013. Yeah.
Greg Capullo used to live like not that far from where I live.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if he's where he lives now, but yeah.
Yeah, he moved recently, but yeah, he used to be like 10 minutes from, probably 10 minutes between each of us. Yeah, now that I think about it. When I used to live in New York, we were like just south of Albany, and he was out in Altamont. And we actually met somebody at I think it was a local Chamber of Commerce event, who they were like, they're family friends with him, which is kind of awesome.
That is awesome. No, that is awesome. But I was even before I was reading comics, I was making comics. I have it's somewhere here. I made a like 450 page comic book in like from 4th grade to like 6th grade. Called The Quiet Spy, and he was anything but quiet. He was like, every issue was just me drawing people dying. So even before I was reading comics, I was making comics, and I've always enjoyed the medium of making comics.
Nice. I just pictured the bad. Did you ever watch the Batman videos, like the Batman, but they're like the Batman videos from College Humor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like, look, he's sleeping. You just killed him, Batman. What about your one rule? Yeah, they're just so good they get tired when they fight me.
This is a gun.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Like,
Yeah.
shoot somebody. I just remember that batarang to the head, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, yeah, he's sleeping."
Exactly. Yeah, those are hilarious.
Hope starts with an H.
Yeah.
So when you're not making comics, you got a job?
Yeah, I do. I have a job. I'm like every other person in the world. I got a job. I do digital marketing for a book publishing company, a small one. So I'm either working with authors, I'm reading their books, I'm in the acquisitions meetings where we read the pitches for these books and we say this is crap or we say this is really good. Let's publish it. I work a lot. We're really closely with the authors on like launching their book, and I do all the social media for that. And then I also have been working on self publishing for the authors that if we reject them, we'll give them an option to like self publish through us, and we'll still give them like a really nice cover like through our design team, and print their books at their own costs, obviously. But yeah, so my day job is digital marketing for a book publishing company, which is fun.
Nice. I picture you all sitting in a room, and the bosses look over at you, and they're like, "Tyler, tell him," and you're like, "It sucks."
Yeah, it's we've like I'm not gonna say what book publishing company I work for, but it's really interesting where it's a really new team that's on right now, and you can see that we're still suffering from the sins of the old team, because I was reading one of the books that we printed. It's called, I was about to say what it was. Anyways, but I read the first 2 chapters, and I was like, it had a really interesting premise, but it was poorly written. And typically we'll order like 1,000 books to start off, and then we'll distribute it. But whoever was in charge at the time was like, this is the next hit, this book. And they're like, are you sure? They go, this is it. And we printed 10,000 copies.
I'm feeling it.
They're like, this is it. Like, we're going to change the world with this. They printed 10,000 copies. I think they sold maybe 500.
So they got some good kindling now. Is that?
Yeah, exactly. So so now we're saying, hey, listen, if you need some fire, we know a good book that's gonna keep you warm. So yeah, it's really interesting seeing like how what works, what doesn't, all the different parts of the equation that say, hey, this is going to be a good book, or this isn't, or if it is a good book, how much money should we realistically put into it for it to succeed? Because even if we print it, if we sold 5,000 copies of it, which is better than most of our books that we do sell, we still have 5,000 copies in inventory, so it would still be seen as a failure to us.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does digital marketing, social media marketing, all that. That's like his main business. ADD, art, dev,
my
and
main
design.
business is being ADD.
And
yes, I do all the time. Yeah, digital marketing, and I'm working on marketing for I moved down to Nashville to help my brother market his business, and we're building out a music. Basically, the goal is to kind of build out a music label. Basically, everything we're doing is kind of leading towards that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So he's doing that, and then he helps me with all of that for Sierra Nova, and yeah. So, but
it's important. If you don't know how to, or just even like some of the basics, you're kind of screwed in this day and if you're in this day and age. I mean, when the job I have right now, there hadn't been anyone in my position for 2 years.
Jesus.
And so me and my coworker Clint, when we got on, we're like, where was the person? They either fired them 2 weeks in, or just the boss didn't think it was like an important part of the company. I'm like, man, it is like the 21st century. If you're not on the internet, you're not even in the conversation.
Well, the big thing too is like when you get like a economic crash like this, people are going to fall back to their defaults, and they're going to go online because they're all stuck in their houses, right?
Exactly.
If they don't already know your name, it might already be too late, and that's why you're supposed to be online already.
Exactly. No, for sure.
Yeah. I have a friend that he quit his one job or something after he got like he got laid off from this one job that he worked at Cardinal Health because the warehouse closed down or whatever. And then he got like a severance from that. He used that money to go to school to be a personal trainer. So he does personal training, but then he works like part-time at GNC, so he doesn't completely work for himself yet. But I tell him anytime I see him, like, you need to like actually take social media like seriously. And then he's like, no, I'm not like about that. I'm like,
Man, yeah,
you're gonna fail.
I bought $100 program off some Instagram personal trainer because I was like, this guy's ripped and he's giving a course and I'm gonna get ripped too. And I lost like 60 pounds doing it. And
Nice.
and it's like, yeah, like if you had all, I gave him $100. If he just constantly was getting more and more people like me, that's a good business. And all I got was an ebook and some videos.
Yeah, and I said, like, I had to bring him to this toy store that's some town that's in the middle of nowhere out here, and that I didn't even know about. And when we were driving there, he was like, "Yeah," because I was talking about that, and he's like, "Yeah, I just don't do videos and stuff." And like, I'm like, "You should do like instructional videos and just all that kind of stuff." But you don't. All you do is like you just help people work out, but all you have to do is document it. And you don't.
Yeah, that one of the big things too. Actually, the thing that I'm helping my brother do is going from the services side to creating something he can sell that's physical or digital, right? Like so, like right now, he and a bunch of other producers are working together to build a catalog of beats, which are like basically an entire song without the lyrics on top of it, so that artists can buy it and sing over it or rap over it, whatever the genre is. And like that's kind of the deal with that. And then we're creating sample packs to sell to producers so that they can build out their own tracks. And like that's the thing is that say right now, like I said, we got the coronavirus, people freaking the hell out. What if you're a boxing gym and no one wants to go to the gym anymore while this thing's going down? Wouldn't it be nice if you had a program online where you could like sell, instructional stuff like, hey, this is something you can do at home while you're waiting to get back to the gym, right? For only $29.99.
Yeah. Well, same thing with like I've seen a lot of people. There's been a discussion in comics with people in their crowdfunding saying, "Oh, I'm not going to offer a digital edition because I prefer print, and I'm sure everyone prefers print with comics." But what happens though when someone can't afford your book at print? You know, you could still make money, not as much, but you can still email them the PDF. Your comic should be online. There's a lot of talk of people saying, oh, web comics are stupid, but like it's everywhere. It's the internet.
Well, the dumb thing is like the entire Marvel catalog is built into the Comixology website.
Yeah.
So if the biggest comic book company in the world is digital, you should probably be digital.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's some people that I have like a creators group for the people that are on our website, and there's a guy that messaged me earlier this morning. He's like, shouldn't we put like all of our comics up for free since because of this virus thing or whatever? And I was like, could do that because it would just bring people to the site, and there's like 82 books on there now, so not like a shit ton, but it's still.
That's actually a good idea, and then I can throw a pop up every once in a while that's like, "Hey, give us your email."
Yeah. So and now I don't have to focus on our Kickstarter because that got postponed because of this virus. Because the developer, my friend Scott, he hasn't had the time to make the game that we're doing for that.
He's cleaning off doorknobs so people don't lick them.
Yeah. So yeah.
Serious problem. Those damn kids. The doorknob licking.
Yeah. So at his like full-time job, where he's like a building supervisor, he's like cleaning like a freak at the school, and he's like, yeah, I literally haven't had enough time to make that demo that you need for like one of the main rewards for your Kickstarter. I was like, oh,
shame.
So okay, all right, that sucks. So I have to postpone this now. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, I guess look at the positive side. Like we'll actually have way more done it would probably all be done, like the amount that we want done by that time
Yeah.
now.
It'll work out. It'll
Yeah,
work out.
and then now I'm trying to figure out if I want to release one of our solo series comics or issue 2 of Seer Chronicles. So
Mm.
yeah, for a Kickstarter. But it won't be April 6th now, so whatever. So speaking of working and comic creation, how do you manage all of that?
Yeah, not very well. Like even right now, I should probably like I try not to do things on Sunday. I should have told you guys I couldn't do it, but I'm doing it because right now my wife is watching our kid in the room and he's screaming. It's all about like it's all about balance. Yeah, it's all about creating a schedule that works for you, and like everyone's different. So for me right now, I either have to if I want to do something, I gotta wake up. I try to wake up at 5 a.m. and from 5 a.m. to 7, I'll do stuff. I'll try. Whether it's, go to the gym or edit a video or draw. Then I know from 7 to 7:30, I'm feeding my kid, and then I go to work. And then when I come home, I'll spend some time with my family. And once my kid goes down on the weekdays, my wife's pretty good about saying, like, letting me do what I need to do. But it's just like staying focused. I mean, this week I have goals each week, and I didn't set good goals, I guess, because I finished them all by Tuesday, and which changed my mindset to, man, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm playing video games and doing nothing. So I didn't get as much done as I should have this week. But it's prioritizing because I also try not to do anything on Saturdays and Sundays. I try to make sure Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I try to make sure like those are my days with my family. So which means Monday and Thursday, I really got to hone in on what I'm going to do and stay focused. And that means, sacrificing either a social life, it means sacrificing playing video games or watching TV. And it's just figuring out what your goals are. I mean, now I'm adding, to add this new channel, to add this new YouTube channel, it means that one of the comics I wanted to do and bring out this year, I'm not gonna, and I don't even know if I'm gonna finish it. I might just like let go of it and just say that child of mine's dead.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But it's just prioritizing like what you want to do. That's really it. I mean, I broke my day out into 16 hours, and you can find, if people say they don't have time, I really suggest you put out you write down 24 hours, and you take out 8 hours. You take out 8 hours because that's what you should be doing is sleep. So now you have 16 hours left. You have 8 hours of your job. Okay, 8 or 9 hours. So now you probably have 6 or 7 hours of free time. What are you doing with those? And everyone's different. But that's my biggest advice on creating balance.
That's good. There's my favorite book is called The One Thing, and it talks about creating a work-life counterbalance is the way he phrases it. Because a lot of people try to make sure like they have this like perfect balance of time, but it's like the way that you should do it is exactly how you said it. You should prioritize things. So for example, if say you really want to build an empire in the comic book industry, you might have to give up a little family time. Now, don't give up all of it, because then by the time you build the empire, you won't have a family, right? But the point is, like, if you're trying to build an empire, that's how you got to do it. And then on the opposite end, like if it's just a fun hobby, then make sure you're spending a lot of time with your family. And again, you could always, the reason why he calls it a counterbalance, you could throw a lot of weight in one direction, get a lot done, and then throw it right back. And that's how you can, you basically working in almost sprints where you build up a bunch in the comic book area for like 2-3 months, and then go on a bunch of vacations and have a bunch of family trips and all that stuff, and just kind of throw it back and forth like that.
And it's definitely like the sacrifice part. I mean, the comic that I'm quote unquote throwing out or just not doing this year, I have probably 50 pages of it done, like drawn, colored, lettered. I only have 30 more pages to draw of it, but the time it's going to take me to finish it this year, and the other things I want to do that I know they're going to level me up or make me grow, it's just kind of dead weight at this point. And I figured I'd rather kill the dead weight, And work
Get rid of that baby.
Yeah. Seriously, get rid of it because I mean, I'll throw it up. I'll throw it up on Indiegogo or Kickstarter. Maybe make a couple $100 when I could work on a better project this year that I have planned, and either make more money or grow my channel, and whatnot. Right? It was just it's just a dead weight project, and even the Kickstarter I'm planning on doing in a couple months, it's also a dead weight one. It's kind of a dead weight one, but that's why I'm throwing it up on Kickstarter for only 2 weeks, and I'm pricing it terrible, like
I want 8 million.
No, like terrible for me. Like I probably won't make any money on it because if you think about like I'll take like the cost to make the book, to print it plus ship it, and then I'll add like another $2. It'll be like it's a 100 plus page graphic novel, and it's probably going to be the cheapest book on Kickstarter. In that like in that range, where people are charging $30-$40 for a 100-page comic book, I'll probably charge no more than 25.
Wow.
Probably no more than 22, and that's just so I just want to get it out, just say, yep, here it is. I have something that I did 4 years ago. I did 4 years ago that no one saw. Here it is, and now this is the new thing I'm working on, and that's. But if I have to do 2 deadweight projects, I'm just slowly not progressing myself.
Yeah.
So don't be scared to kill your babies, comic book creators.
Yeah.
Wow.
What advice do you... sound more vicious than the coronavirus.
I know. Well, I'm just trying to get things done. Coronavirus isn't doing as much as I thought it would.
I thought the coronavirus would kill these babies, and they're not.
Yeah.
How many rolls of toilet paper do you have?
Enough. Yeah. I have an infinite amount. It's called my left and right hand, man.
Oh my god.
You do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
My cousin posted a meme about it was a Demolition Man. Like he doesn't know how to use the 3 shells, and it's like there's a bathroom where it's like where the toilet paper's supposed to be, there's just 3 shells, and it's like, oh my god, he doesn't know how to use the shells. It's like this is in the future, they don't use toilet paper anymore. They're like, oh, back in the 20th, they used to just wad up paper and wipe themselves. Disgusting.
That's funny.
Yeah. So we'll look back at this and be like, wow, we could have just bought 3 seashells and been fine with this.
Yeah, we'll probably look back at this and be like, remember that time we all went crazy for no reason? Like, that was funny.
Yeah. That was awesome. Yeah. Picture that SNL skit with Chris Farley. You remember when? You remember when? That was awesome.
What advice do you have for people looking to grow on YouTube?
Oh man, I'm not like the right I'm not like the right person to ask about that. I'm very grateful for the 2,000 subscribers I have. Really cool. It would be really cool if all 2,000 of you guys bought my book, or showed up. I think just constantly putting out content. Okay, first advice: if you want to grow on YouTube, don't pick comics. That's first rule. Is comics. Don't make what my channel is, which is about comics, which is already a super small niche, and then make a channel about making comics, which is an even smaller niche. It is, yeah. So don't do that. Just
because I'm doing it.
Because I'm doing it, and it's not working. No, I think the advice I'd give is just post good content. Post good content. Have fun. Be consistent and try to put out quality content. There is so much content on YouTube that there's like, if you're putting out crap, there's a reason why you're not getting any views. It's because no one they can click on something else that's going to be better than your video. My kid is going crazy right now. The reason why I'm making the other channel is because every time I've tried doing something else on my channel, people don't like it. And so, because I alienate my audience of people who are there just to who want to talk about making comics. So if you want to do other things, start another channel like I am, but be consistent, make high quality content. You have a phone, make, make videos. You can make good videos. Do research. And like take the time. I have a creator friend who I talk to, and he's always bagging on me. And one of these days, I'm gonna rage on him. He's like, "I'm sick of you always getting subscribers, Tyler, and I don't, and no one watches my videos." And one of these days, I'm just gonna be like, "Dude, it's because your content is crap.
Because you suck.
It's because you suck. No, seriously, because you suck. Like you make great comics. You're a great artist. You're a great writer. You make great looking books. Like without a doubt, you make shitty videos. Like you make
That's
terrible.
what a real friend will tell you.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not a real friend, so that's how you know. No, I've told him several times, like you shouldn't do this. Like for example,
stop.
So for example, comic creators, what we have a problem with doing long form things like podcasts and video stuff like this. This is a really good example. This is a good thing. I think it's a good thing. People love podcasts and long form stuff. But when you're doing a long form thing every day, when you have a 3 or 4 hour live stream every day, how am I supposed to watch that every day? I don't have 3 or 4 hours. So I say, and my content right now is typically maybe 5 to 7 minutes now. I'm trying to really get it into the 5 to 7 minute mark because I know you can watch 5 to 7 minutes of it. And then if you want to watch another one, you can. It's not take you long, or you can just leave. But 3 to 4 hours, that's a long time. And most of the time, I don't even know what they're talking about. It's like not specific, on like in my video, like, writer, do this. And then the video talks about do this, done. Like,
yeah, if you're gonna, basically you want to get that's what I've heard from YouTube is you want to either get short 5 to 20 minute videos, or you want to get those long hour to 3 hour long ones, but they either need to be highly creative, like it could be someone just drawing all day,
yeah,
right? Like just visualize, just seeing that, or highly intellectually stimulating. Like
exactly. Do you know who the YouTuber David Dobrik is?
Yes, I don't remember the last video I've seen of his.
All of his videos are 4 minutes 20 seconds, and I have probably, when I found out about him, I've probably now watched every single one of his videos, which is like over 500 or 600 videos. Like he's made plenty of ad rev money just off me watching all of his videos. But the reason why I've watched all those videos is because they're 4 minutes. So 10 of them later, I'm like, crap, like I just spent an hour watching just your life. And so whereas I'd just be listening to 4 hours of, some guys talking about anything with comics and drama, and I don't know how they're lonely. I don't, make people want to come back. That's my biggest advice.
Like if you're like, that's what I mean by the intellectually stimulating. It's gonna be long, like Joe Rogan's podcast. Like he has highly intelligent people on there, and he asks very interesting questions, and so it's very hard for the conversation to die down. And if it does, they take a rip of weed, right? So,
exactly. It's interesting the whole time, and the topic is interesting, and you feel very involved with it. Like I try to acknowledge the people that are in the chat when I do a live stream, but as a viewer, if I'm not there already, and you spend 10 minutes of that YouTube just like saying hi, so and so's here, and so hi, so and so for 10 minutes, I'm like, gosh, like there's got to be something better I can watch. Whereas something like Joe Rogan, 3 hours, I can just listen to this conversation because I feel like I'm learning and it's really interesting to me.
Well, yeah, and the thing too is like, although he does live, like his videos are not meant to only be watched live; they're meant to be watched forever. So like I go back and watch a bunch of interesting people that Joe Rogan's had on, even ones I've already listened or watched the 3 hour video of, just to remember something important from it.
Exactly. They're meant to be rewatched. So make videos that are meant to be rewatched.
Actually, I was about to say the other good way to think about it too is if you're going to make videos that are super long, you should be able to get like, 10 solid clips from it. Like that are the 5 to 20 minute clips, like something like that. Or even 2 minutes. Like they could be little ones.
Yeah. I just like be respectful. I watched, there was this one guy and it was like the 5 tips on blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, what are they going to be? And he goes, all right, guys, I know this is a 20-minute video. I'm going to give you the 5 tips right now. And then if you want to watch the rest, I'll explain them. and he was like, "Here's the 5 tips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now we'll go through each one." And I was like, "Wow, that was really respectful because I don't want to watch the rest of this video.
Yeah,
I just want to know what the 5 tips were and walk away."
I was about to say I've seen that before, and I love that because first off, for anyone who wants to know really powerful marketing, a good reason why that's a powerful tactic is A, if someone just wants the information, they'll get it and leave. And B, if someone is intrigued by the information and wants more of it, you now know that you could offer a service to them if they watch more of the video, which means you can then retarget them with ads later because of the fact they watch more of the video.
Exactly.
And so it's a very clever tactic. And then, yeah, the other one is when they don't put information in the damn description. So they'll talk for like 2 hours and they'll quote a bunch of different things, and then they don't have anything in the description. So it's the same thing, like those 5 bullet points. Put them in the description, and if it's a 3-hour long video and you're talking about them the whole time, put the timestamp links in them. Those are awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I get very angry when I watch a video waiting for the hook, and then it's like 30 minutes in. I'm like, gosh, like, how dare you waste my time? Logan Paul. He does that.
Yeah. I'm looking for us to start making videos, or mostly just me because he's busy doing 5,000 other things. So I've been watching a lot. Yeah, at work I watch how to make like your YouTube channel better and stuff like that. So technically that question was for me. And I know that our podcasts are really long. So like when people, most of them are really long. They're like hour, 2 hours. We just did a 3-hour one. I had to cut like an hour out of it because it was just us talking about our hatred towards like Marvel and DC.
Nice.
Like,
is that the middle section we talked about it?
Yeah.
You should post it. I totally forgot to say that later. You should post that section up later as just like, like whatever. What was that episode? Was that 22? Was that the last episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just be like 22B. Like a
behind the scenes. That's the other stuff.
Yeah. Watch it. Just hate DC so much.
Yeah. It's your Nova cut.
Yeah. But the reason why our episodes are so long at times, one, we go off topic a lot, but then we somehow make it back into the actual topic.
I've noticed.
So, yeah.
Not a bad thing. But also I think long form stuff can be good depending on like the guest you have. Like if you had someone like Brian Michael Bendis, I don't even know if he's a good person, but he's still popular. You put him on this podcast, people will listen for an hour or two. People will probably listen to me for 15 minutes and be like, you know what, this guy. I don't even know.
Well, there was a guy on or a girl. I don't know who it was. I think it was a guy. I don't know. Doesn't matter. There was a person on Twitter that was when I put your picture up and I'm like, oh, this is the next episode. And someone's like, oh, that guy's awesome. And I was like, yeah, so you should listen to it. Like when it comes out.
You found an old photo of me when I was good looking.
Yeah, I just try to find any picture that I can that's like either you're by yourself or
No, you're good.
No, I think one of the reasons why too this podcast works is although it's an ADHD's all over the place, we definitely still bring a bunch of value to the creators and things like that. And that's the part that I think makes it watchable even when it is long. So we're entertaining and it's got a lot of knowledge packets in it. And like that's like the proof of that too is like Greg spent like a month and a half just chopping up our old videos and getting those segments, and like he's got content for like the next year just because of how many times there'd be like a 1 minute window of just like super knowledge, and there'd be a bunch of that. Like
that's all you need, man.
Oh yeah. And I was gonna say actually, do you use any like plugins for like YouTube optimization? Like, you ever heard of VidIQ or TubeBuddy?
Yeah, I use TubeBuddy.
You use TubeBuddy?
Yeah, I don't know how to use it, but I use TubeBuddy.
Somebody told me to download it, so I did.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: sign up, and then 3 weeks in, they'll offer you their first paid membership for free.
Nice.
Like they'll be like, "Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this?" For a limited time only, you can get it for free. And you're like, "Oh," and then you go, "Okay." My thing that I've heard from people with like the optimization stuff in videos, really there's only three things, which is something that I can't do really on my comics channel, Draw and Talk, but something that I feel like I can do on my new channel. And this isn't like hidden information, but it's stuff that I think we can all agree on. Now, I'm about to break down in this video. I'm going to break down the 3 secrets on YouTube that you're going to need to know to make your channel. Here we go. Now,
you know this is getting clipped, right?
Yeah. If that's the introduction to my new YouTube channel right there. Is there's 3 things. Have a good thumbnail, because that's the first thing someone sees. And gosh dang it, do I hate it when I see people like complaining about their channel and I go, man, your thumbnails are ugly. Make a good title. Those are the top 2. Those are like the number 1 and 2 thing, is to have a good title and a good thumbnail, and everything else is pretty much guaranteed. Like, not guaranteed, but like it helps.
Well, as long as your content's good.
And then after that, it's content. So title and thumbnail is what's going to hook them to click on it, and then your content better be good enough for them to stay and watch it. And so with TubeBuddy, sometimes, and then TubeBuddy will help me with like my tags or see if something's getting searched. But like, I think I don't know how many people are like, it's still good to do those things to see like, you know, this search term is searched like 9 times a day or 100 times a day, so I should definitely use that one. But like a lot of them, they say use TubeBuddy to plan out your videos for like the year, and I'm not someone who does that. I kind of I'm like, man, what's going on this week? So TubeBuddy doesn't really help in that. But if you can come up with a good title and thumbnail, that's good. That's all you need.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would definitely check out VidIQ, because the thing that's valuable about that is you can go to someone else's YouTube channel or their video and see what tags they're using on theirs, so that you know what's working on videos that are currently being watched.
We can do the same thing with TubeBuddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have them both down. I had my brother download them both so I can compare them. And VidIQ seems a little bit cleaner. It includes a little bit more and has more free features before you have to pay.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Yeah, and like, unless you're 50,000, 100,000 plus YouTube subscribers, there's no reason to even pay for it. But the whole point is that they kind of hook you in, so that if if you get used to it, and then all of a sudden you're hitting big numbers, then all of a sudden, just stick with them, right?
The only paid feature I want to do out of any of those 2 is the A and B testing. Where
of thumbnails, you mean?
Thumbnail and title, where it'll upload both of them, and then whichever one gets the most views will be the permanent one.
Nice. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting, because I don't think VidIQ can do that, but the thing I like about VidIQ is you can do something like I think you can track trending videos as well as competitors. So you can so even the free one, I think you can track up to like 3 or maybe 5 competitors. Competitors, whatever. They're people that you want to be very similar to. And so because of that, like whenever they post a video, you can be like, oh, that's weird. All 3 of the people I follow just posted about blank. Maybe that's a highly relevant, highly searched thing right now, since they're much bigger and they're probably attacking trending words and that are trending content. And then that's the other thing too, is like, I think it'll actually track. You can look up what's going viral at the moment. Try to jump on that train, because it's a lot of things that, like, even unless you're uninterested in whatever the viral thing is, if it's in your realm and you have a thought about it, it's still a pretty good idea to get a video out there on it, as long as you're not just throwing one out there just to be attached to it. As long as you have thoughts on it, and give a little extra content to it.
For sure. Like, it's hard with comics because, like, man, like, what am I supposed to say if Jimmy Fallon's trending on comics? Like, there's nothing of value to put in, which is why I'm doing the other channel, because it's going to be everything but comics on that channel. So I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And I think if you want to do that, like comics is really hard. So you have to really stay like either like in the community, and the ones who do really well are the ones who are in the drama, which sucks. But if you are constantly in the drama and commentating on comic book news, I think that's where you'll hit your stride and you'll get more subscribers and views. If you're doing it like me, you're going to be struggling. I'm just admitting failure right now.
Well, the other big thing though too is that so do you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is?
Oh yeah, I know Gary Vee.
Yeah, so like he talks about the fact that he knows like if he didn't swear, his content would be much bigger now. But he also knows that in a 5 to 10 year time span, if he didn't swear, you could feel that in his inauthenticity, right? So the fact that you would know something was weird about it, and so ultimately he wouldn't grow as big as he will. So he believes that the number he'll get to will be much larger because he's authentic the entire time,
Yeah.
rather than trying to shoot for the thing that'll make him big now. And so that I wouldn't look down on not being over whatever it is the cool thing is, because like Joe Rogan's thing wasn't the cool thing until suddenly it was. Like his first 100 podcasts, he never took advertising money out for it. Like no one knew it existed. It was completely word of mouth. And it all started with just one good video getting the attention of a couple people, and then another one getting the attention of a couple more people, and then he had somebody a little famous on one time, and all of a sudden, like that gained a little traction because somebody was interested in that one person, and then that person a whole bunch of it. Yeah, I mean, it just slowly spreads out.
That's my third tip, which is number one, make sure your channel logo, your channel thumbnails look good. You make sure your titles look good. And number three, get someone that's get like an interesting person on that's gonna bring you on. Like when I brought in Heather Antos, she's an editor for Marvel Image and now head of Valiant. I got a lot of subscribers off that because people know her. And then when she posts about it, her people then come to me and then they can decide. So do that. It's if you can get like one of my most watched videos that keeps getting me subscribers is an interview I had with Brian Edward Hill. He's currently writing Batman and the Outsiders. And that one, because one, he's a stand-up dude and everyone likes him. There's not a lot of interviews with him, so people will watch my vid. I did an interview with Matthew Rosenberg of Marvel. That one hasn't taken off as well, so I don't think people care about him. But yeah, just you got to collab with good people, the right people. Yeah, and also like you said, be authentic and have a good time. Like you're right. Like if I wanted to jump on the trends of drama every single day on my channel, I could have a lot more subscribers. But I think, like you said, at the end of the day, they'll be like, "Oh, that just wasn't who Tyler was, and it's going to help me in the long run."
Yeah.
Yeah. There's actually what is it? Oh, it's right top. That's easy this time. This book right here, for anyone who's trying to build on social media, I would highly recommend this. Oh my God, who's getting? Oh, it's Greg. He's getting the siren. But yeah, so basically, what this book talks about is how to grow on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and something else. But basically, maybe Snapchat. It talks about how to actually grow organically, but you can still use things like paid ads, but you use it in the context of organic growth. So what he would do is you could take like say it's Facebook or Instagram. You could take 10 variations of the same exact piece of content. Maybe it's different color, different headline, different photo, right? Things like that, and then just run them as ads because they're known as what are known as dark posts, and so they don't stay on your feed, so it doesn't make your feed look sloppy. And then basically once you find one that organically, even though it's through ad, they're just getting more attention, like someone's engaging with it more, then you take that one, you can post that in your feed, right? And now suddenly you're getting only good content out there, and you can do that on scale, so you're basically mass testing. And then he goes into YouTube, and he's like, the biggest thing you can do on there is collaborations, like what you're saying, is grabbing somebody else who's got an audience already and working with them. And I believe it's in the Instagram section, but it still works with the YouTube section. One of the best ways to get interesting people is, so I keep using this reference for my brother just because it's so easy, because he knows, you know, it's just somewhat like one of his favorite artists. But I'm like, if you want to get the Kanye, you don't get the Kanye. What you do is you go to Kanye's Instagram, you go to his followers or following, and it's like you're looking at who he's following. And now you want to find somebody that has less followers than him, but he's following, which means he is an influencer of him, right? So then what you do is, if he's too big, because Kanye is obviously huge, so maybe even his sub, you know, his sub influencers, right? Even they might be too big. So you go under them. And you basically just go down a ladder until you get to somebody that's near the same level as you, but hopefully higher.
Oh yeah.
You're basically trying to climb the ladder that way by working with people that are interesting that way.
Or influencing the influencers.
Exactly. You're influencing the influencers' influencers.
Yeah, because like for comics, if you just because you're friends with a writer or an artist, like they can't do anything. Now, if you're friends with the editor who has to pick the next writer or artist for said book, that's who you want to be friends with. Like, I follow tons of editors on Twitter and Instagram, because artists and writers, you can be like, hey, I have a cool idea, and they go, huh, me too. But editors, you go, hey, I have a cool idea, and if you can get one to listen to you, they'll be like, hey, well, we have a slot, you know, coming up, or hey, I need a cover artist, or that's who you want people to engage. You know, and you know, if you treat them with respect, I know that I had a good enough experience with Heather Antos that if I felt compelled to send her some stuff, she would listen, because all she has to do is go back to our old emails and be like, oh, this was a stellar dude. He was a nice guy. We had a good time. I don't have anything I want to show her right now, but you know, if you can build that relationship with people, yeah, like that's a really good idea that you said. Don't message Kanye, message who Kanye follows, because Kanye must feel like they're important to him.
Yeah, and the big way to think about it too is, it's not like, you know, you're trying to, you know, use all the people below them. It's like they're all filters anyways. Like that's the point. Like you know, each of them is a filter for him. Like if the most famous person in the world, or like who is it? I think it's like Ariana or something like that on Instagram. It's something like 477 million followers. Like she couldn't possibly, like, if she got one post from every one of them and took like 30 seconds to read it, she'd be reading it for like the next year.
Yeah.
Just one post, right? So basically, you're almost like proving your worth up the ladder while also meeting interesting people. Like that's, you know, you're learning from them, you're growing from them, and hopefully you're giving them some value as well, whether it's a broadcast out like a podcast, or you know, just sharing them with an audience that they haven't connected with yet. And so that's the whole point, is like you don't want to just, you know, find them and be like, yo, connect me with this guy, connect me with this guy. Like you want to still connect with each of those people up the ladder, because they're in that ladder for a reason. Like they've been through what you're trying to go through, which is just proving that you're worth somebody's time, right?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
no matter how important everyone thinks they are, they're not as important as they think they are.
Yeah.
But if you want to meet somebody who's, you know, several tiers above you in success in the field that you're looking to be successful in, then that's 100% what you have to do. Is you have to go through the rungs and you know, show that they're, you know, 5 minutes with you is actually worth their time.
I totally agree.
Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. So the alarm doesn't go off again.
Is your face frozen? Oh, there it goes. Now it's moving.
No, you're good. Yeah, this is a good time for me to wrap. This is a good time to wrap it up.
So where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Tyler_C_world, or at Draw and Talk on Instagram as well. I don't go on it very much. And
You're
then
not on Instagram?
I am on Instagram.
He's just
But
not
not that much, you saying?
I'm not on my what's it called? I'm not on my Draw and Talk one very much. I'm on my personal one more. And they're both open, whatnot. Best place to find me though is Twitter. Twitter is at Tyler_C_world. I'm always on Twitter. And then as well, youtube.com/Draw and Talk. That's the best place. And we have a great community of writers and artists there. You can join our Discord for free. and yeah, where it's just a bunch of writers and artists collaborating and meeting up. We're finishing up an anthology that we all pitched in. Everyone pitched in 4 pages, and we're waiting for like two slackers, and then after that we'll print the book, and everyone gets a copy of it. Everyone will get a copy, the print ready copy. No one owns the rights to the anthology, so it's a really good group of people there. So if you want to join us, go on youtube.com/JohnTalk. Make sure to smash that subscribe button, and then join the Discord.
Hit the notification bell.
Yeah, exactly. Smash that melee button.
Okay, well, thanks for coming on, and yeah.
No problem. Peace out.